So when Star Wars Jedi Survivor was released, I decided to play Jedi Fallen Order for the first time. If you haven't already, feel free to watch my video on that game. There's a link to it in the description if I remember to put it there. But if I don't, it's in the playlist of video game talk on my channel, so you can find it in there. But long story short, I love Fallen Order. Not wanting to get series fatigue, I decided to wait a little bit to play its sequel, Jedi Survivor. Well, that time has come and gone. I played and finished Survivor, and as always, I have some thoughts. So let's dig into Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Star Wars Jedi Survivor came out on April 28th, 2023, and is a direct sequel to 2019's Jedi Fallen Order. Once again, Respawn takes the helm on development of this game, taking what they learned when developing Fallen Order to create a worthy successor. And for reference, all footage in this video is captured on PS5. Jedi Survivor takes place 5 years after the events of Fallen Order. Cal and the gang have since gone their separate ways, not out of spite, but out of being called to go down different paths. As Cal continues the fight against the Empire, he learns of a secret planet hidden away from civilization and the Empire, more importantly. The planet of Tanalorr. Cal decides this planet could be a safe haven from those being hunted by the dreaded Empire due to it being hidden away. And such, you spend a bulk of the game trying to figure out how to get to the sanctuary of this mysterious planet. Let's address the elephant in the room. I thoroughly enjoy Jedi Survivor. I am quite fond of the first game, and I am someone who initially gets more nervous than excited when I see sequels of things I like. Fallen Order is a great game that I love playing, so with how much I like it, my first reaction when I see a sequel is nervousness, because I would hate to see the legacy of this great game get tainted by an unimpressive or lackluster sequel. However, it is safe to say this series is in great hands with Respawn, as they delivered a more than adequate sequel to what is becoming a powerhouse series in the world of gaming. What did I like about it? Glad you asked. First and foremost, I like how Cal retained some abilities from the first game. Starting out with a single lightsaber, I immediately noticed how I was able to perform moves and attacks that I distinctly remember unlocking in Fallen Order. And since you play as the same guy, you should still have the same abilities. I hate when sequels come out and you have to spend time unlocking things that you already unlocked in the first game and your character magically forgot how to do all that stuff. It really helps this feel like a true sequel to Fallen Order. Luckily though, there are many other stances and lightsaber configurations and force abilities and more that you can spend skill points on. Which brings me to my next like. I loved how there are a few different stances to choose from, and by stances I mean there are different ways to use and configure your lightsaber that all come with their own unique moves, attack power, attack speed, attack range, and unlockable skills. The stances include a single lightsaber like most Jedi use, or a double saber like Darth Maul has, that were present in Fallen Order, but then they added in 3 more stances to go along with these in Jedi Survivor. There were my 2 personal favorites, which was dual saber, which is 2 lightsabers at once, 1 in each hand, and then the lightsaber blaster combo, which is a lightsaber in your right hand and a blaster pistol in your left. Then to round it all out, there's crossguard, think like the lightsaber Kylo Ren has, where it's got those 2 little, I don't know, 2 little mini lightsabers on the sides, I guess, for lack of a better term. 2 little crossguards would probably be a better way of wording that. But this acts as the high risk, high reward, super slow to attack, but hits like a truck option. I love how they added this because it adds more variation to the combat in this game. There's a stance for all, whether you like to get in quick, do a little damage, back out, or if you want to come in with the crossguard and just do as much damage per hit as you can. It's a great aspect of customization in this game that got teased in Fallen Order, and they fully blossomed it out in Jedi Survivor. Speaking of customization, I liked how they expanded on the customization options provided in Fallen Order. In addition to being able to customize your lightsaber, outfit, and BD1, you are able to customize the blaster you get and change Cal's hair and facial hairstyle. As I have said before, I would much rather have too little customization than too much, but I think Respawn hit the happy medium here. It is enough to make Cal, BD, and your gear unique to you, but not enough to where you spend too much time toying around with everything and having it detract from the experience. But it is far from underwhelming, even though it seems they removed the ability to customize the Mantis, which if I'm wrong about that, please let me know in the comments. I didn't see an option for that anywhere, nor did I collect anything that specifically said it was for the Mantis. so I just kind of left that blank. But again, let me know if I missed something. Removing the Mantis customization options doesn't bother me because, especially in Jedi Survivor, you spend such little time around the Mantis because you're out exploring the world and finding cool things on the ground in these planets. And take into consideration that most Mantis screen time is spent on the inside of the ship where you can't even see the exterior paint. I want to be out and about, jumping around and parkouring through the world, not looking at this exterior of a ship that I think looks rather stupid in the first place given its giant vertical wing. But this brings me to my next like, which is the parkour and movement in this game. I loved the movement in Fallen Order, and it is back being as crisp and clean and fluid as ever in Jedi Survivor. The combat in this game is good, make no mistake. But my favorite parts of Fallen Order and Survivor are the parkour and traversal sections where you string together wall runs with rope swings, with air dashes, and so on and so forth. I truly feel Respawn has borderline mastered the art of fluid third-person movement, and it gets almost orgasmic to get a string of parkour moves in perfect succession, and I can't get enough of it. It feels a hell of a lot better than those sliding sections from the first game. Speaking of which, last little bonus point here, it'll be a quick one. They got rid of the sliding. No more super clunky and awkward and heavy multi-minute sliding spots. I am beyond glad to see these gone because those sections were one of the few weak points in Fallen Order. So for them to be completely gone in Jedi Survivor, couldn't be happier. However, much like Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor is not perfect, and let's discuss what I didn't like about it. Spoiler alert though, this list is rather small, and the things that I mention are quite insignificant in the grand scheme of things. With that being said, the areas on planets to explore have been expanded and are larger than in Fallen Order. Because of that, you gain the ability to mount and ride some animals on certain planets to help get you to where you need to be faster. I feel the animation for these animals was not super well done. It's not horrible by any means, but just kind of feels a little robotic and a little bit like an afterthought. Also, this could just be my crazy wizard eyes and could be all in my head, but it seems like when you are riding the animals up or down a slope, the animal doesn't adjust to that slope. Allow me to throw some pictures on the screen to help me get my point across. When running up a slope, you expect the animal to be turned up a bit to match the slope like this. However, in Jedi Survivor, it seems to me the animal stays flat like this. And that just seems odd that I am seeing this. And it seems like something that, given the amount of detail in this game, Respawn would have handled. But again, I could just be misseeing this and looking at something wrong. I can't stress that enough, that this could just be my fault. And speaking of looking at something wrong, I was occasionally a little frustrated with the targeting system. When you click the right stick in, on PS5 at least, you target and focus on an enemy in a crowd of them and they become your target, believe it or not. In order to switch this from enemy to enemy, you flick the right stick left or right to move your focus point in that direction. However, every so often there are enemies above you along with the ones on the same level as you, and I always prefer to take out the higher up enemies with my trusty blaster or any other means before taking out the ones on the same level as me. I always try to target them, but oftentimes it would just target someone on the same level as me instead. I tried looking directly at them and hitting the target, same level. I tried targeting someone on the same level as me, like flicking the stick up or in whatever direction they were in, it wouldn't move. This occurrence of enemies high up is not super frequent, so it wasn't a huge deal, but it happened enough to where I did notice it and did get frustrated, and I definitely took some hits trying to target these guys instead of attacking the ones on the ground. But one thing I wasn't frustrated with, but I just kind of want to, like, it's not even a dislike, I just want to put it in here because I don't really know where else to put. I was not frustrated with the story. Although it was great, I found myself liking the story of Fallen Order just a tish more. Like I said, this isn't even a dislike, I just feel like I have to mention it. Do not get it twisted, Jedi Survivor has a good story and one that I was definitely invested in. However, I feel more drawn to the story of Fallen Order and Cal's humble beginnings. That's really it, and that one, I'll be honest, is entirely personal preference, and so I'll leave it at that. So there you have it, that's all I have to say. Like I said in the beginning, Jedi Survivor is a fantastic game, and as far as the 2023 releases I have played, it currently sits atop my list as the best of the year. Respawn has taken an original story and one of the most beloved IPs ever created, and it hits it out of the park with these Jedi games. And with the actor for Cal letting it slip that they are currently working on number 3, my nervousness is gone, evaporated. Respawn has earned my trust with this series, and I eagerly await to see where Cal ends up next. If you haven't played Fallen Order, I highly recommend you play it before Survivor. Not only because it also is a great game on its own, but also because you would probably be a little lost story-wise in Jedi Survivor if you skipped it. But if you have played Fallen Order, you liked that game, and you have not yet played Jedi Survivor, you are doing yourself a disservice by not playing a key part of what is becoming one of the truly great series in modern gaming. Jedi Survivor gets a massive stamp of approval from me and is well worth your time. But that's it for Jedi Survivor. Highly recommend you play it. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope I provided valuable info for you and hope you enjoyed your time listening to me. If you like this video, tell YouTube you liked it and hit that thumbs up button. As far as gaming video goes, I'm currently playing through Spider-Man 2, the new one, not the old one, the new Spider-Man 2. And we'll most definitely make a video on it. So make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss it when that comes out. And as always, let's talk in the comments about Jedi Survivor, what you thought of it, thoughts on the series, how if Respawn put half as much effort into Apex as they do into these games, Apex would be a wicked game instead of the broken mess it is, or anything video game related. All opinions are welcome. Looking forward to hearing from you. But as always, I will see you in my food videos until that Spider-Man one comes out. See you then.